What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? That's my theme from my monologue. What's going on? But anyway, it is episode 222. Red and Coach are with you today. Red's gonna pop in soon. We are ready to get it started. What's going on this week? Oh God, sorry, y'all. My charger just won't let me be great today. Anyway, I'm great now. Anyway, what's going on this week? Man, we got coaches suing the NFL. Lord have mercy. We got allegations all around. We got owners being accused of tanking games. We got GMs being accused of showing up drunk to meetings. Lord have mercy. The NFL don't turn into a soap opera the week for the Super Bowl. Man, thought this was daytime television. Anyway, what else going on? Man, we got the Nets looking like bombs again. I thought they were trying to do something. Nah, they might be broken up soon. What else going on? We got Aaron Rodgers doing house hunting in Nashville. Man, we got all kind of stuff going on. What's going on in the baseball world? Who knows, man? All I know is we got NFL litigations. We got a championship week recap. We got the Nets choking their brains out. We got that and more. And we ain't finna waste any more time because it's Red and Coach and Red popping in. Our money might show up too. We might even have an appearance from Shelby. Who knows? But anyway, episode 222. Let's get it started right now.
All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. This is the Red and Rail Sports Show with two today. Myself, the coach, and Red putting it in. We expect the Rev to pop up at any time, probably around 11:30. Anytime. And just in case you didn't know, we are live from the ATL Shorty. We're giving you real sports talk because we're real sports athletes. And we have what? And I skipped the part. Real
sports knowledge. It's all
Hey.
you got the sports knowledge part.
Yeah, so fine tune your sensory apparatus and join us here for the Red and Rail Sports Show. We are live. We're going to do it for you. We're going to give you the next 2 hours, maybe two, maybe more, maybe less, but we're going to give it to you. And let me jump right into my number 223. This is the 223rd show for us. And my 223 is going to be a dude who most people know, and they know him every time somebody kicks the ball or punts the ball, he's going to touch it, and you never know. He could take that thing to the house without any problem and laugh at you, and he is considered one of the most, if not the best, kick and punt return in NFL history. He made 2 all-decade teams, and we're talking about number 23 for the Chicago Bears, Devin Hester. Devin Hester is our 223 today. One of the best, if not one of the best, if not the best kick returners in NFL history. All right. As always, we want to welcome our people from the Rev Night Nation. We know the nation will be chiming in soon. Let's see what we got, who we got so far for the nation. All right, Veronica Ross Parrish said, Good morning. Good morning, Veronica. Vincent Woodruff says the VP in the building, ready to slam the gavel down for another session. All right.
Another
session. Miss Sylvia Harris said, Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Miss Harris. How are you doing?
How you doing, Miss Harris?
Joe Black said, What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? What's up,
Joe Black?
YouTube sensation. Vincent, yeah, we're talking about Devin Hester. And he said, I knew it, coach. I was thinking the same thing when I saw 23. Yeah, we like Devin. Joe Black said, and Atlanta Falcons coach. Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Wait, who? Devin Hester?
I didn't know.
Wait,
I didn't know
special teams coach? Well, he's former Falcons, though.
Yeah. He is Hall of Fame worthy. He was dangerous with that football. You are so right. Every time he touched it, you never know what was going on, and you didn't know what was going to happen. Ms. Harris said, I am very well, thank you. We are so glad to hear that. We want you and the Rev to have safe travels as you all travel on these highways and byways with all this bad weather and ice and everything. Oh, Joe Black said he played for the Falcons. Oh, yeah, Joe Black. Yeah, we remember he played for the Falcons briefly. They should have kept him, but another story for another day.
Hey, he gave us more than I ever thought we'd get out of him, when especially coming to us at the stage of his career that he did. So we got, 2 or 3 good years out of him. And I think the fact that he showed out in the Super Bowl that's what's going to get him in the Hall of Fame right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, let's jump right into it. We're going with
exactly. That's what's going to get him in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, Joe Black said Tony Dungy told him, don't kick to Devin. The Colts helped kick off the Super Bowl for real. Devin made them pay. Yeah. He was dangerous. And Joe Black said, well, as Falcons, we don't make the best decisions. But, we won't worry. We won't talk about that. All right. We're looking now, going down to Dope, Nope, and Cope. We got Dope, Nope, and Cope. All right, Red, you hit it first. What you got?
All right. Bring up my dopes real quick. I think I know what I'm doping on. I just want to be sure. Oh, I can't even bring them up.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, y'all. I remember them. Oh, no, I'm good. Let me see. Okay, I'm good. Here we go. Oh, no, this ain't easy. Oh, wait, no. Here we go. All right, I'm ready, y'all. What I'm doping on? Trae Young performing versus the Suns on Thursday night. Thursday night.
Yeah.
Boy, 43 points. I mean, double-digit assists. I mean, talking about putting a team on your back. I mean, some of the other players had good games too. But Trae Young, I mean, man, just whenever I least expect it, he always show up and give me these type of games, man. And I hated we lost last night against Toronto, but I don't know what's up with the NBA schedule to giving them these back-to-backs. After that Phoenix Sun game, we needed a day to enjoy that victory right there, man. Come on, NBA, hating on my Hawks with this schedule. But Trae Young, dope for your performance against the NBA's best team. I knew if we had played them in the finals, we would have got them, and that just proved. CP3 can't hang with no Trae Young. You better not let us see you in the playoffs, son. I promise you, you're going home and see.
All right, Trae Young was the man against Phoenix. He showed out. He did put on a great game. My dope moment is for the rivalry, the biggest rivalry in college basketball, as they call it, North Carolina and Duke. And Coach K is coming to his last visit to Chapel Hill. Oh, it's going to be electric. It's going to be wild there at Chapel Hill. Coach K walking in the door. He retiring. And that game is going to be big time. They the Carolina 16-6, Duke is 19-3. Yes, it's tonight, 6 o'clock at Chapel Hill. So that's going to be the prime time game. North Carolina and Duke.
They knew when to schedule it too.
Yeah.
I might check that one out.
Yeah, that's going to be a serious classic right there. So get ready. Every time they play, it's hardly separated by 2 or 3 points sometimes. It goes to overtime, and they play ball when they play each other. It's just like, hey, I don't like you, but they have a mutual respect for each other.
Are both teams ranked?
Carolina is not. They're coming back though. I think they're 16-6, 17-6. They won their last 3 games, so 3 out of 4. So they'll probably be on their way back.
Better than Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and both of them will get into the NCAA tournament, and then the party starts. Then. Yeah. All right, my note moment was. I don't know if it was the 49ers did it or whoever did it, but they had an altercation at the game that left a fan in a coma, and I don't think it was reported. They didn't report it, and there's some concerns about that, and the fact that we are still fighting at games is kind of ignorant. What are you that mad about? You're not playing, and you don't see them fighting each other. What are you fighting about? What is the problem? I don't understand. But, hey, this is what we do at fights. A game, these fights somewhere. and it's somewhere you go on and arrest him. And well, they did arrest the guy that called it. So that's done. But we got to stop all this fighting in games. All right, Red, what's your note moment?
Yeah, I agree, man. Piggyback on what you said. Did you see that post they had about that Rams fan? They got beat up. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Even worse.
Perfect moment when you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
I mean. All right, what am I noping on? Jaquiski Tart for the 49ers. Oh, my God. Dude. Talk about a moment to be remembered, man. You had the game in your hands and you literally dropped the ball. Literally dropped the ball. Okay. I appreciate you saying that this moment ain't going to define you after the game. But, dude, who you fooling, okay? We're going to always remember you for that moment right there in the playoffs. Jaquiski Tart came up like a Pop-Tart and dropped the ball in the NFC Championship game. Thank you. Eventually, you're going to be the sweet tart. So, thank you for Jaquiski Tart. But that moment, thank you for taking ownership. But that moment right there, that was a big no. Even though I was going for the Rams, I appreciate it, but that was a no moment. You got to make that play, dog.
Okay. All right, going back, what is your coat moment?
Oh, well, my coat moment is not for me, more for real. And real is going to have to cope with the wrath of all these Falcon fans every year that Patrick Mahomes don't win a ring. I'm telling you, Rev, they are not going to let up on you, man. So they came at them hard this week, and they're going to come at them hard even more next week. Every year Mahomes don't win a ring, they coming for real. And Rev going to have to cope with his decision to jump off our team and to adopt Mahomes, who ain't won a ring since he joined the club. We're going to talk more about that later.
Oh, boy. My coat moment is for one, Daniel Snyder. Mr. Snyder, somehow your name keeps getting involved in something that goes wrong all the time. You can't just be a owner. You have to have something going on. And just for for them, Washington, to keep you on, they got to cope with all them issues. Every time, it's like every year, the name Daniel Snyder comes up, and it's for something wrong. So, Mr. Snyder, you got to deal with all this until you just finally decide to say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm leaving, which I'm sure everybody probably start clapping their hands and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for leaving. And that'll be the best thing for everybody. All right, let's see here.
I don't know how. They can come out. They need to take his team away. How does he keep his team? They talking about taking Stephen Ross' team away. Daniel Snyder need to have his team taken away before anybody.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see what the Rev Knight Nation is talking about as far as dope and open coat. They got plenty of them. Good morning, Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams said no coach talk today. Oh, we're not going to talk about the coach. You best believe it. Who cares?
They didn't even make the playoffs, and you hid for 2 weeks after they got eliminated from playoff contention. Talking about no coach talk. We were ready to talk about them 2 weeks ago when they got eliminated.
Hey, Red, you got an echo, they saying.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they say you got an echo going.
All right.
Okay, hopefully that's better. All right, Vincent Woodruff, dope moment. Jimmy Gigolo talking to John Lynch about possible landing spots, just not in San Francisco. Well, Vincent, I heard that they trying to talk about him in Pittsburgh, and I'm going to say a big no to that. No, sir. No, y'all keep the Gigolo, Jimmy G, keep him there in San Francisco or send him somewhere else. Let him have himself, hug himself. All right. Joe Black said, dope moment, UGA great Matthew Stafford getting ready to win his first Super Bowl. He's in the Super Bowl. Let's just put it that way. We're not going to say ready to win just yet. We're going to give him some time. All right. Jamal Smith said, somebody said Brady is better than Michael Jordan.
That's my cousin.
That's
What?
another debate. Well, we'll debate that another day, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
He ain't
Terrence
not
was saying,
athletic enough.
yeah, Terrence was talking about your echo. And then Vincent said you like to hear yourself twice.
Oh man,
I didn't
I'm
know
sounding
that
like
echo.
Rain Man.
Yeah. Joe Black, note moment. There's only one black head coach. We're going to get into that in a few minutes about the one black head coach. Vincent, epic rivalry, gonna miss Coach K facing them Tar Heels. Celebs may try to make that game. That's the only collegiate game that could rival an NBA game. You can best believe it's gonna be a nice little crowd of big time athletes, his former players, former Carolina players. They all gonna be there tonight for that one. They already got the seats. All right. Yep.
Gonna be the busiest North Carolina airport ever been.
Yep. Yep, 7 miles down the road from each other. Duke Tar Heels Classic. Yeah, I don't see a blowout. This game is hardly ever a blowout. It's always down to the wire. Both of them going head to head with each other. All right. Ms. Harris said a dope moment. LeBron returns soon, and Kentucky Wildcats move to number 5 in the national polls. Okay, they number 5. All right. Red got the look about LeBron returning soon.
And then what for a couple of games and then get hurt again? Damn, the injury-prone LeBron years, man.
Oh, Lord. Note moment from Vincent. Bill Belichick's texting Flores when he missed the text. The ball, yeah. That's the moment we're going to discuss as well. Interesting. Anthony Bell said, could you possibly say, since Ricardo Allen went to the Bengals, he could possibly get a Super Bowl ring? Anthony, what does that J stand for on that hat? Chime back in and let us know what that J stands for.
Jive turkey.
It looks interesting. All right. He said, Vincent said, same what you read. He dropped the game, not taking up for Jimmy to further throw it away, but DBs had one job. Take that ball away. Simple as that. Take the ball away, hit you right in the hands, and you can't catch it. Yeah, that's kind of bad. Soft hands. All right, note moment from Ms. Harris. Richard Sherman calling out Russell Wilson. Whoa. Richard calling out Russell Wilson?
Richard Sherman calling? What'd he say?
I didn't see that. I gotta find that, Ms. Harris. All right.
I ain't surprised.
Vincent said, Rev steady cursing the Chiefs. Oh, Lord. We gonna get back into that. All right, Brother Rossa. Donnie says, good morning.
What's up, Donnie?
Joe Black, Colt, the Commanders. Yeah, we're going to get into that too. We got to talk about that. Mr. Rossa said, good people. Yeah, good morning, sir. Vincent Woodruff said, Colt, the NFL continue to NFL. Nothing will come of their lawsuit, but I'm glad Flores and others chiming in. Like I said, we'll talk about that. Joe Black, Jimmy G will be starting for the Steelers. Joe Black, I'm going to remind you, y'all stop throwing these quarterbacks at the Steelers. I know who we got in mind, but it ain't Jimmy G. We do not want Jimmy Gigolo quarterbacking us. Donnie said UGA players making a stand this year. Okay. And Vincent finally said Brady and MJ don't play the same sport, but I think I know the context in which we're speaking. All right. That was the Dope and Open Coat from the Rev Night Nation. We're glad you all are chiming in. We appreciate you all coming in. So, all right, Red, here we go. We got to talk about it because it's big time. Brian Flores versus the NFL.
Ooh.
Brian Flores versus the NFL. Let me
Remind me the people versus Larry Flint. But yeah, this is big. This is big. Obviously, Brian Flores felt that this was his last option. He's obviously making a courageous stand. You know, he was a head coach for a few years with Bill Belichick. He's been coaching for over 10 years. So he has a pretty extensive career. So I hope he got his money saved because you're going to need it, Brian. But, yeah, I applaud Brian for taking a stand and making sure that folks notice what's going on in the NFL. And honestly, without a move like this, I honestly don't think. I mean, we had the entire sports world stop this week for this lawsuit right here. I mean, every sports program across the dial was talking about this lawsuit and this lawsuit only. All other topics took a back seat to Brian Flores versus the NFL. So that was the impact right there to get us all talking about it. Now, it's time for some solutions. I mean, we can only talk so much, but eventually we're going to have some solutions. And like I was telling Coach earlier, it's amazing how all of these non-minorities and non-African Americans have all of these opinions, but when it's really time to move the needle, when it's really time to call in favors or actually do something, because you guys, talking to you, my European brothers, you guys are in a position to make change, and you guys have the power to change things. And what do you guys do? You sit around with us as if you are equal to us, as if you feeling our pain, and talk about things like you can't make a difference. We can't make a difference. We the minorities. You guys are the majority. You guys have the power to make a difference. So what I would like to see, we've had talk this week. This next week, I'm tired. I want to hear a whole bunch of white guys sitting around having these debates, okay? We've heard the talking, okay? Now it's time for solutions. It's time to call in favors. It's time to use your connections and do whatever you got to do to get change started in the NFL. And it start with this coaching issue right here. 32 NFL teams and only one black head coach in a league that's almost 80% African American. You gotta be kidding me, man. You have got to be kidding me. These 32 white NFL owners don't turn to NFL into a doggone plantation back in the South. That's pretty much what it is. 32 white guys trying to control the lives of hundreds of black men all over the sport. Just call it what it is. That's what it is. White men trying to control the lives of black men. That's all it is. And they love that power. And it's gonna take a lot to get them off of that power. And it's gonna take a lot for them to even admit that's what it is. But we all know that's what it is, and they love it. White men controlling the lives of black men.
All right, that was Red's take, and just looking at it, I totally agree. But the thing, and Flores brought up some good allegations. He brought up some very interesting allegations. And my thing is, what I want to see and what I want to see proven is the allegation against his former owner, Stephen Ross, who he said was trying to pay him $100,000 a game to tank, to lose. And if that's true, then Stephen Ross, thank you for coming. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Hug yourself and go on something else, because you would be done. But like a friend of mine told me, and this may sound interesting, sometimes they think that since we are African Americans, we'll take money to do something like that. We'll do that. And it makes me go back and read, I'm going to use one of your references, movie reference, the movie Judas and the Messiah. Remember the payoff in that movie? Wasn't hardly nothing. But they did it anyway. They did it anyway. So I guess Stephen Ross thought I could pay him $100,000 a game and he'll lose. And all the while, I guarantee you, in the back of his mind, he was forgetting, or he was thinking, if he loses, one, that gives me a reason to fire him, and two, how can Brian Flores get another job having a losing record everywhere? How can he get another job?
And three, if he end up at the end of this whole situation, if Brian Flores' life is ruined, does Stephen Ross care?
No.
No, because that guy at the end of the Judas movie, his life was ruined. The guy who was selling out.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. His life was ruined, and we know what happened to him. His final moment.
Right.
Exactly. So now these on that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, coach. They'll use the black man, and then when they finish using the black man for their situation, they don't care about they don't care what happened to him in the end. They don't care what the final situation for that brother is. As long as they do what they want at that time. Brian Flores, your NFL coaching career, you know what? Be doggone.
Yeah.
But
and then go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
then,
go ahead.
Let's talk. Looking at the text message from Bill Belichick to Brian Flores, who said, "Oops, I didn't mean to send it to him. I meant to send it to the other guy." I mean, do you think that was trying to help Brian Flores, Red, in your opinion?
Well, I've heard that take. I mean, if he wanted to get the ball started early just to let Brian know, hey, the Giants are high in the bowl. I think they should have hired you. But I'm just letting you know before you even go to the interview that the bowl is already the guy. I mean, that's what Belichick was trying to get across. He definitely achieved the goal. I mean, but I'm saying, whose side is Belichick on? Is he on the man side or is he on Flores' side?
I mean, you look at Belichick going through. I haven't seen anything where he's shown any kind of racism. And, you know, personally, I think Belichick is one of those coaches the owners can't touch. Yeah, they can't do anything with him. Not with Belichick. Belichick got the cachet in the NFL to, you know, owners forget y'all. I can do what I want to do. What y'all gonna do to me? And he know good and well his owner not gonna fire him. Yeah. He got a job in New England as long as he wants it until he retires. But Flores, through all this, was interesting. He is still a number 1 or 2 candidate for the Houston Texans job. He's still a candidate for that job. Now,
worst job in the NFL.
Here's the question. I'm gonna ask you since you said that. Should he take the job if they offer it to him?
No. Do what Leftwich did. I mean, if he take the Houston Texans job, is his coaching record going to improve?
Maybe 3-4 games?
Yeah, I'm saying Brian Leftwich did the right thing. The Jaguars didn't want to meet his demands. They wanted to keep him along with Trent Falcon, and Leftwich knew Trent Falcon was going to use him like the owners use other brothers. And when he was done using Leftwich, no matter what the Jaguars record was, Leftwich was going to get the blame. Leftwich said, nope, not signing up for that. So, I'm like I say, I hope Flores declines the Houston Texans job. Saints job, maybe, but Texans job, whoever takes that job, you got a lot of work to do. And I'd rather let Johnson County go down there and suffer. I don't want to see another brother go down there and suffer.
Okay, we're going to come back and we're gonna keep talking about this. Let's see what the nation has to say. They got a lot of comments. Big Woodyard is signed in, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers. I am here.
What's up, Woodyard? Fan?
All right. Anthony Bell said it stands for Jackson State. Ain't no jive. Go on with your salt. Anthony Bell, I went to Mississippi Valley. I'm going to salt you all day. I don't care. I recognize your Jackson Stateness. I recognize. All right, Vincent said Flores brought the Dolphins out of the gutter. He's making a courageous move for future brothers having head coaching opportunities. All right.
I agree.
Let's see. And his usual statement, it sounds about white. His usual statement here, Vincent gonna say that all the time. All right.
Because they've been making the white choices.
Yeah, all the time. Ross broke NFL rules by attempting to tank games. The thing about it is with that, Vincent, I hope, that's my thing. I hope they can prove it. I hope they can prove he did that. And then he'll be out of there. That's what I hope. That when he said that they can prove that. And then you say he'll get a slap on the hand. The good old boys will look out for him. The only way to change is for the black players to unite. No NFL without players. Absolutely. I want to see what they're going to do. I heard several people say that. Let's see what they're going to do. All
If they
right.
strike 1 week, I promise you that'll move the needle.
Anthony Bell said not just Flores, Hugh Jackson chiming in on it too. Some change needs to take place, but we're dealing with the NFL, and the owners are powerful enough to sweep it under the rug. Yeah, Anthony, I heard Hugh Jackson talking about when he was at Cleveland that the owner did to try to do the same thing to him. You know, trying to tank, you know, to pay money to tank, which is crazy. But anyway, Vincent St. Ross.
Hugh Jackson backpedaling on some of his comments.
I hope not. I hope not. Ladies and gentlemen, as you look right here, there's a familiar face that just chimed in. One Reverend Michael Clayton Harris. What's going on, Rev?
I thought that was Becca from Power 2.
I missed that right quick. I'm trying to get settled in. What's going on?
What's happening?
What's up, Rev?
Not much. I hear y'all talking about Brian Flores, Baka. I know that somebody said for a note, Bill Belichick sent a text, but actually the text was a blessing in disguise. And if you see, Bill didn't refute the text. So that might have been the intention, what he did, to help escalate Brian Flores' claim. Because when you can attach a name like Brian Belichick to show, Bill Belichick to show the foolishness that is going on in the NFL when it comes to its terrible practices and interviewing and hiring authorities, that adds more to his case. I don't think if he had the text with with Bill Belichick, he might not even brought this whole situation forward. So that text, I think, was a blessing in disguise. So that when you hear the name Bill Belichick, you got to take these allegations seriously.
And that's true because, like we were talking about, Belichick is one of those coaches that those owners, you really can't do anything with him. His cachet is so high, he's not going to be one that they can say, oh, we're going to get rid of you. He'll look at him like, oh, really? You think you can? Go ahead and try. Let's see what happens, you know.
Yeah, and it's always good to be able to find yourself with somebody who has empathy. Bill Belichick, of all the coaches in the NFL, he had
Rev,
he froze up. Oh, there we go.
Rev, turn your volume up a little bit.
Say it again.
Turn your volume up a little bit.
All right, I said Bill Belichick, like you said earlier, was really untouchable. So that's why if you find yourself up with somebody like him, things can start happening. You know, to the whole Stephen Ross thing. If that is true, he got to get fired. And to Red's point earlier, you know, it's a trap to offer coaches money to lose, especially black coaches, because if they do lose, their resume is tarnished and they will be hired. So that's the unfair thing to black coaches. But they're expecting black coaches just to be happy about getting that paycheck and don't worry about their futures. For instance, David Culley with the Houston Texans, they didn't mind hiring him for 1 year because in their mind, they just said, well, if we fire him, at least he's going to walk away with $25 million. And the Negro should be happy with the kind of money he would have never seen if we gave him 1 year. So what they're thinking is sometimes hiring these blacks, they'll just be happy with the amount of money that they'll be able to get just by being hired, regardless of the fact that they're, to number one, finish out their contract, number two, ever get retired by a team again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Like
Hey man, some guys are happy with that money, but it's about the respect amongst my peers. You know what I'm saying? Because you still want to be respected around the league. And you still want to, be respected for your craft. In addition to having the financial security. So I applaud the coaches who is not all about financial security. It's about the respect. And it's about the having pride for your craft. You know what I'm saying? It's about pride for your career. So I applaud the coaches like Leftwich, who declined the Jaguars job because he knew he was being set up to take the fall if the Jags fail anytime in Leftwich's tenure. It's not going to be Trent Baalke who get the blame, even though it's going to be Trent Baalke who making most of the decisions. It's going to be Brian Leftwich. And Leftwich said, no, I'm not signing up for that. You're not going to make a fool out of me. So much props to Brian Leftwich, much props to Brian Flores, and much props to the African-American coaches who are taking control of their careers, or at least having the courage to think about taking control of their careers or take control back, because they know they are valuable commodities in the NFL, just like the players are commodities. NFL won't survive without African-Americans.
Yeah, and like I said, the Rev Knight Nation is popping in. Let me tell you what it said. He said, Vincent said, I want to believe that Belichick was looking out for Flores, but I'm not seeing it. Belichick will have to update his contacts, White Brian and Black Brian. he gotta change them up. And Rev, we were talking about this, and I just want to say what Vincent said. What is your opinion, Rev, on the Stephen Ross situation as far as attempting to pay Flores $100,000 to tank games?
If Flores has credible evidence, he should lose his franchise. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it, man. That's clearly not jeopardizing, but tarnishing the authenticity of the game. Then also that's trying to position them to get the #1 draft pick. So that's doing something without integrity. And therefore, the NFL, even though some franchises do it, they can't be so overt about it where there's no consequence. Because if they allow this to go without being punished, especially if it's proven, the NFL is opening up Pandora's for other opportunities to take place in that wild, and that's not good for the integrity of the game.
Okay.
Now, here's the point where I wanted to play devil's advocate. Now, I agree with everything we were saying. Stephen Ross, you can't tank game. You can't be paying coaches tank game. But looking at what Stephen Ross wanted and looking at how it might have turned out for him, does he have a point? And let me explain what I mean by that. It's been reported that Stephen Ross really wanted Joe Burrow. Okay. He wanted Joe Burrow. At some point during that season, he wanted Flores to tank game, or maybe not try, or just lose games, period. Because they wanted, bottom line, he wanted the #1 draft pick for Joe Burrow. Okay. Now, 2 years later, seeing what Joe Burrow has become, if you were in charge and you instructed your employee to do something because you knew something was going to work out for your team in the future, and that employee completely disregarded what you wanted, completely disobeyed your wishes. Now, you're in charge. You're the owner. And look at what you wanted seems to have happened in Cincinnati now, because what the owner wanted was a franchise quarterback. What the Dolphins have been seeking forever since Marino retired, has been a franchise quarterback. Obviously, Joe Burrow, the guy Stephen Ross was so in love with, has proven that he's that franchise quarterback. So now, had the Dolphins drafted Joe Burrow, and Stephen Ross got what he wanted, and Burrow was turning his Dolphins around, and they were the team going to the Super Bowl this year, would Flores still have a job?
No, Flores wouldn't have had a job because that would have been giving the credence for him to be fired, even though he tanked games. You have to realize there's one thing to be the coach to tank the game. It's another thing to be the coach to actually coach the player that the owner wants. So there was no guarantee that if Flores tanked, that he was going to be the one to coach Burrow. So
that's a possibility.
So Flores understood this is my one time to shine. And if you look at the history of black coaches, there were only two coaches that I know of that got second jobs after being fired the first time. One was Tony Dungy. The second one was Dennis Green.
One more.
Who else?
Herm Edwards.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Herm Edwards coached the Jets and Wells.
Chiefs.
Okay, yeah, okay. But outside those three, and those are old heads, right? None of them have coached in the NFL like within the past decade. So we know that those type black coaches are not getting a chance again. So if I'm Brian Flores, I'm not chancing it either because, he's paying me to take claims just to ultimately fire me. And that's if I'm Brian Flores, that's how I'm looking at it as well.
Okay, but now he fired him right, but he fired him. I said, okay, so your take, Reb, is he would have fired him after he drafted Jerobo no matter what. He wouldn't even got a chance to coach first. Okay, well, if that's what you're saying, then yeah, I'm with Flores. But if Ross had planned to keep Flores on board with Joe Burrow, then it might be a different situation. But I'm with you now. Who knows? You're right. Who knows? So why even take the chance? Why trust this white man to have his hands over my career when I can have control myself? So I understand.
Losing proposition all the way around for him being the head coach.
There's a lot of stack.
Okay. Losing proposition because, okay, Rev is coming back and to get his stuff straight. I mean, you look at it, how does Flores still takes a loss? You look at getting paid $100,000 a game for losing. What that amount to? $1 million for 10 games? You make more than that coaching. So why would you even consider taking that stance and allowing that to happen for the sake of? Really, that would be kind of dumb. I'm looking at some of these takes.
Well, you fired him after having back-to-back winning seasons. So, I mean, if you fired him after having back-to-back winning seasons, you probably would have fired him had Joe Burrow came in and showed out just to get one of your boys in there. So who knows? It's not looking good for Ross, no matter what.
Yeah, and Joe Black said, you can't tell me Flores, Bieniemy, Leftwich, etc. aren't good enough to be head coaches. Well, we know that. I mean, they are good enough.
I think he's not getting hired because it's bad.
And let's see.
Leftwich still got a chance.
Yeah. Well, Bieniemy has been interviewed by New Orleans. He just got interviewed by New Orleans, so stay tuned for that. All right, Kelly Nicole chimed in. Exactly, there's no NFL without the black players. And then she said, that seems like the only time they hire black coaches. They hire black coaches to be the fall guy. They get hired to the teams with no way out. Team like the Saints, out of money, no quarterback. They'll look at those black coaches to come in there and coach them.
Never when a team is a championship contender.
Vincent said, Donald Sterling will be watching this closely. The caucasity of busters like Ross knows no bounds. Not the caucasity. That's a new word right there. Jerry Richardson sitting back saying all I did was compliment those ladies on their nice jeans. Another owner who bit the dust.
Yeah. This team, Daniel Snyder still got his team, and Richardson was forced to sell. And it might look like Ross gonna be forced to sell. They find this out, and the Broncos are for sale. Are we gonna have some black ownership in the near future?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, and Vincent said Ross would have pulled the okie doke on Flores. You get Burrow, then hire Casper with no NFL experience to coach and take credit for Burrow's success.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, he agrees what Rev was saying. And then he said, for all we know, Flores was hired because the good old boys told Ross, you're up. You got to take this one for us to keep them from talking about the rooting rule. Okay. And, you know. And Rev, Terrence got a message for you, Rev. Is Rev looking down while driving?
Just everybody don't do this in your car. No, I'm not driving. Actually, my mother's driving right now. So understand, I'm being safe. No way would I be on the show driving because that's reckless. I wouldn't want anybody to follow my lead. But I am in the passenger seat, and Sister Sylvia Harris has taken the lead. So no need to be worried.
That's right, Rev. I got your back. Terrence Rev said you was itching your daddy's drawers for you was driving for you was itching your daddy's drawers. Don't question him.
All right. Vincent said John Gruden won the Super Bowl with Dungeon's team. And he also said, hey, Mother Harris. He's speaking to her. All right. So, let's look at this. And I just want to just talk quickly. The chauffeur thing. All right, now coaching changes in the NFL.
The unexpected humor.
I mean, let's look at this. Let me pull this up. All right. We've seen the coaching change in the NFL. I think there were like 3 more coaches that got hired.
Yeah.
And to me,
all of them that look like this.
Of course. And to me, the one that stood out the most, Doug Peterson going to the Jaguars. Doug Peterson to the Jaguars. Okay, Doug won 1 Super Bowl with the Eagles, and now all of a sudden he's a hot coach. Well, what's you all's opinion on that?
I mean, to be honest, for the Jaguars, with their being such a franchise, actually, that was a great hire for them. For somebody who does have a Super Bowl cachet to want to go to that toxic franchise. So, they could have easily hired somebody who was on the road to being fired as soon as they hired him. But, I mean, to be honest, Doug Peterson is somewhat tried and proven, even though some in Eagles land would say that it's because of Frank Wright that he got that Super Bowl, just like some would say in Atlanta, the Falcons made the Super Bowl because of Kyle Shanahan. So, sometimes the coordinators can offset for the head coach's weaknesses. But with the Jaguar situation, I think that's about the best hire they can get. And if I'm a Jaguars owner, I can sell that to Jacksonville fans because how many other coaches in the NFL have a Super Bowl?
Right, that's true. True.
Belichick, Tomlin, Arians,
Andy Reid.
Who else?
Andy Reid.
Peggy P now.
That's it.
Yeah. So
And Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Red, what's your opinion on Doug Peterson getting hired by the Jaguars?
I'm I'm leaning to what Rev said, and I don't necessarily think he was the hot coach. I just think he was the available coach. And like Rev said, it wasn't like that many folks were standing in line to coach the Jags, you know what I'm saying? And I think Trent Baalke is the main reason for that. I mean, a lot of folks pulled their name out the hat when they realized Trent Baalke was going to be involved heavily. So, look, WP, he's worked with, what's the word I'm looking for? GMs that love to put their opinions in things. I mean, he's worked with messy GMs before in Philadelphia with Howard Rosen. So I would guess Trent Baalke and Howard Rosen ain't too different of a guy. So maybe WP can flourish in that situation. So Leftwich probably say, I got to have a little bit more control. I need a GM that can work with me. And he knows Trent Baalke ain't the guy. WP, a different situation. Also, WP has worked with young quarterbacks before. You got a young quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence got any type of talent in the NFL talent, WP will get him started on the right track. He got Wentz started on the right track. He'll get Lawrence started on the right track. And bottom line is going to come down to what the relationship between Baalke and WP is. It's going to be a stable, consistent relationship. That'll speak volumes for how it's going to go with the Jags. If it's stable, the Jags will be, they have a little success. WP can bring some type of stability to that offense, you know what I'm saying? Got to hire the right coaches. But I think, like Rev said, I think that hire, if you weren't going to bring Leftwich back and give him a little control, hiring a former Super Bowl winning coach in WP, who we all know, he don't have to have control. He can work with others. Might be the best hire.
Okay. Let me look at what the nation is talking about. Let's see here. Alexis Hill said there's talk about Robert Smith buying a team. That's interesting. Rev, Terrence said the sunroof look like you going warp speed. Vincent said they want Doug to be a quarterback whisperer for Trevor Lawrence, surfer boy. All right. Duval County can try to get hype because they have a Super Bowl winning coach, but they'll continue to dream. Joe Black said Doug Peterson is one of the only coaching hires I can't argue with. After the Urban Meyer fiasco, they really needed a previous head coach. Alexis said still Byron Leftwich could have been hired, but Byron had the issues with the GM and everything.
Yeah, Alexis, did we say that?
Terrence said Matt Eberflus heading up the Bears. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Ooh. And Vincent said Chicago would have been a better fit for Leftwich. Having Fields as a young, raw, talented quarterback, the defense is already ready. Yeah. So he said Leftwich probably would have been a better fit.
You know, Vincent, the black coaches don't get the right fit. We get the off-brand fit. We get the loose fit.
So basically, instead of the Levi's, we get the Guess jeans. Pretty much.
I'm saying, Coach, when they give a black guy, beside Mike Sumner, when they don't give him a team that's ready-made to make a playoff run, or at least a team that the coach can actually feel with. Yeah, Leftwich would have been a perfect guy in Chicago, but they decided to go with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Now, I sure do hope they got a plan for that guy helping Justin Fields, because I just feel that Justin Fields is going to be stuck in a no-win situation.
Well, Justin, it's going to be interesting now. You know, if this guy is an offensive guru, like they say, and I'm looking at, okay, you work with Carson Wentz. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I won't say anything else.
No, they got the guy from Green Bay. That's who got as the offensive coach.
Oh, okay. Now, since you said that, Red, what do you all see about looking at Green Bay, looking at Denver? Isn't Denver getting a lot of Green Bay coaches?
Nathaniel Hackett, that's one. He probably took a few coaches from the offense with him. I don't know if that's gonna guarantee Aaron Rodgers, but they definitely looking at Green Bay's coaching staff to make a few changes on there. You think? We all know they're gonna make a push for Rodgers, but I think it's gonna be another. But we're gonna talk about another team in Rodgers later.
Yeah, in the 5 for 5, we're going to discuss Rodgers. Vincent said for the Falcons, I guess he talking about the Falcons, we get the great value picks.
No, he talking about the Niners.
Oh, he talking about the Niners, the great value.
Eagle plus ain't no offensive guru. What you talking about, Alexis?
We'll see.
Alexis, you wake up and drink some coffee.
All right.
I wonder about administration. Now, that's a good question. Because why would you even bring Jim Harbaugh in there if you didn't have any inclination of giving him a job? I mean, it's Jim Harbaugh. He didn't come in to interview. You bring him in, you should be ready to hire him. And then you say no to go to Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah, Harbaugh coming. He said, what'd you say, Rev?
The problem with Harbaugh is that the word on the street is he's very hard to work with. And ultimately, he wears on. You know,
yeah. I heard he wore him down in that meeting.
At San Francisco, I mean, dude did a phenomenal job with the 49ers, but he's an alpha personality. I think he likes to be like control, and unfortunately, in the NFL, not too many head coaches get the Bill Belichick treatment, where they go to coach the team also not emotions. And Jim Harbaugh has not developed that type of cachet in the NFL to be able to be the GM as well as the head coach. So I don't know if that's really the best thing for him if he can't be a GM and a head coach. With college football, you're in complete control. The only person you really have to answer to is the college president, because in most states, the top colleges in that state are the highest paid employees in the entire state. So the only person they have to answer to is the college president, and they are like the CEOs of the football team. So that's why in some cases, like a Saban and Harbaugh, that's actually the best fit for them if they can't be the GMs. And they may not even be good GMs, because it's not just drafting players, but it's being able to manage the salary cap, knowing when to extend, knowing when to cut. And, everybody doesn't have that gift. So I think I won't be surprised if Harbaugh just remains a college coach for the rest of his days, because I don't know too many NFL teams that may want to deal with his quirky personality over an extended term.
Okay. Terrence Williams also said he interviewed for 16 hours. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of a long interview process, but hey, Harbaugh said Michigan was the only place I wanted to be. I'm going to go back to Michigan. Sure, Coach. Sure. I like how you said that. You can go back and lose to Ohio State.
16 hours of Jim Harbaugh? Yeah, I'd be done too. Yeah, thanks, Coach, but no thanks. Glad I ain't make that decision. 16 hours? Man, please. He would have talked, man. I would have been done with this guy. Yeah, that was, he should have had no interview that long, man. It should have been maybe 6 hours. 16? That's a whole day listening to Jim Harbaugh tell you this, that, and whatever. Dude, if you don't take your butt back to Michigan, get up out of here and get out of my organization and go back to Michigan. I run things. This is my team. You don't tell me what to do. I bet Ziggy Wood was looking at Jim Harbaugh like, who in the world does this guy think he is?
And he probably mentioned, put in something about on the sidelines, I want to wear khaki pants or something. Who knows? He probably said that too. It got to be in my contract.
Ain't no khaki pants on my sideline.
All right. We have unofficially reached halftime, and we got several things to go, including 5 for 5. We got the NBA All-Star selection snubs. We got the NFL Championship recap. Rev, I hope you're around for that. I hope so. You still around. And then we're going to talk about football also. So it's halftime on the show. Let me see if I can. Rev, I'm going to throw a curveball with you with the halftime music. I know it's been a while since you heard this one. Let me see if you can remember this one.
Name that tune in 5 notes.
Uh-oh.
I thought that was what? Danger zone for a minute.
All right, let's go. We're going to halftime. We'll be back in a few minuets.
I'm going to see y'all a little later.
With the Top Gun soundtrack.
All right, Real. All right, we are back live. Red said, Kenny Loggins. Boy, you pulled up a name then. Wait a minute. Yeah. Kenny Loggins.
You thought you had that Top Gun soundtrack going.
But I ain't heard that name in a long time. When you talk about Kenny Loggins from, yeah. All right. Now, let me find my banner. It is time for, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for 5 for 5, where we showcase 5 topics and we discuss. And once we discuss, let me see if I can find my music, or Vincent will probably jump on me if I don't have
you better add it quick. Oh yeah, the music. You gotta have 5 for 5.
Yeah, if I don't have that, he gonna fight me.
I got 5.
We're gonna make sure we have 5 on it, Vincent. So we don't want any trouble. All right. Let's pull it up. See if we got the music going. Let's see if we can find it. It's gonna take a minute, but let's see.
Uh-oh.
There you go, Vincent.
Let me get on beat for let me get on beat for Shelby kill me.
You getting down I-20. All right. Here we go.
You ain't gonna make it in that traffic, Vic.
Here goes topic number 1. Let's look at the topics real quick. Are owners paying coaches to tank? Are owners paying coaches to tank? Go ahead, Red. Are they paying them?
Not all of them. We might have certain owners who want to make a name for themselves in the business, like Steve Ross or Jerry Jones wannabe, a big time owner wannabe, coming from New York, don't even live in Miami, but want to buy a Miami-based team, but want to have a big time quarterback to get him to the big top. Say, look, I'll do whatever means necessary, whatever it takes to get me a quarterback. Ride, steal, kill, it don't matter. I need me an NFL franchise quarterback, and I don't care what you got to do to get me one. Well, you know what? We care. The public cares. You can't cheat, Steven Ross. You got to do things the right way. You got to build through the draft. You got to make the right decisions in free agency. And if you don't do that and your team sucks, guess who's to blame? You, Mr. Owner. So stop trying to cheat and go around the way to get things. You scout and you pick the best guy for the job. Sitting up here talking about, I'm a tank to get a, for sure, franchise quarterback. Well, maybe you should have. Hey, you cut me off, coach.
You were rolling. I'm going to let you roll on. All right, yeah. If it is happening, all owners who are paying coaches should be let go. They should not be allowed to own a team. If that's what you got to do to try to win, just like you said, instead of building, no. Paying for losing can't happen. Won't happen. And you should not be allowed to coach a team. All right?
Yeah, the NFL got to be competitive. So you got to have a competitive team every week, even if you suck. You're not going to suck on purpose. Don't let us find out you sucking on purpose.
Number 2, which is going to be very interesting. Washington Commanders, good or bad? Hold on for a minute. I don't know how anybody would feel about this one, but let me stop this real quick. I just put it right there. Washington Commanders, good or bad? Go ahead, Red.
Oh, I thought you were going to start out. And then I thought you were going to play some G.I. Joe music. That's exactly what I'm thinking of when I think of Washington Commanders. Is this the Cobra Commanders G-League team? Is this who you join before you join the real Cobra Commander and Destro and the Baroness? You go to the Washington Commanders first? Is this like the training facility for the Cobra Commander soldiers or something? Man, I heard so many G.I. Joe jokes this week to last a lifetime. But Washington Commanders, if that's the best you can do, fine. But be prepared for the humor, because it's going to come and it ain't going to stop. Okay? Okay, Destro. Okay, Cobra. What's that? Is that Duke and Flick out here coming? So watch out. Lady Joe on your butt, boy. Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Where was Sergeant Slaughter at?
Yeah, I mean, this was the absolute worst name they could have picked from anything. This was the worst name. Commanders. Just stupid. I mean, why? You didn't really have a chance with this name when you were coming up. You should have known this, and you should have seen it and said, okay, we're not going to have this. We can't deal with this team being Commanders. You could have put the Washington Warriors or something like that. Anything would have been better.
How about Commandos? You could have went Commandos. We could have been had Matrix and Bennett jokes from Commando.
Yeah.
Ever since you had me thrown out of the unit, Matrix, I've been waiting to pay you back.
Anything would have been better. And I do mean anything would have been better than the Commanders. But they made it.
The God, John. I don't think the
They gotta live with it, so hey, it's on them. All right.
Hey, Sully, remember when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
Yeah. All right. Now, next topic. Aaron Rodgers to the Titans. There have been reports that Aaron Rodgers has been somewhere in Nashville looking at houses. Man, you know my favorite term comes up. I have concerns. Why is Aaron Rodgers looking for houses in Nashville? Please, to quote an old song, please tell me now that there's something I should know. Something y'all want to tell us? Mr. Rodgers, neighborhood, you in Nashville looking at houses? And personally, Ryan Tannehill should be showing him houses in another city. Because that's your job, Ryan Tannehill. That's your job. Rev is back.
Yeah.
Rev.
What's going on?
Let's jump back. We had some fun with this one. Washington Commanders, good or bad?
Awful. I mean, they were better off just remaining the Washington football team.
Seriously.
That was more unique and appealing than this Commanders. I don't know if y'all saw the meme that said they thought the Washington football team had called themselves the Washington Commodores, and they had Lionel Richie on his helmet.
Yeah, and Red was going back to the old G.I. Joe cartoons where they were talking about the Commanders. Okay, Cobra Commander and all them. Like, who came up with the Commanders? I mean,
they need to be fired, as Joe Clark would say, expeditious.
Yeah, we would. I mean, I would have gone with the Washington Warriors or something like that. Rev disappeared. Washington Warriors or something like that. All right, here we are.
Just keep the football team.
Yeah, just the football team. That would have been better. All right, Rev, we talking about the Aaron Rodgers to the Titans situation. House hunting in Nashville. What's your opinion?
If they could somehow make that move, it'd be a great move. Imagine Brown, they keep Julio, and you put Derrick Henry with that offense. Oh my goodness. That's one for the ages. I mean, that could be arguably one of the best offenses of all time, where you got a man who can throw the ball, you got someone who can run the ball, you got receivers who can catch the ball, and you don't have Tannehill, the game manager. The AFC will be in trouble. And actually, that's a better move for him if somehow the Titans are able to move off of Tannehill than Rodgers going to Denver, because Denver doesn't have that already proven talent like the Tennessee Titans already have.
Okay. Let me dip and see what the nation is talking about.
Hold on, Coach.
What was that? What's wrong, Red?
Oh,
I'm sorry, Red. Go ahead.
I definitely agree with Rev. It ain't gonna be long. I agree with Rev. Thinking about that, if Rodgers was to go to the AFC, I couldn't think of a better situation than Tennessee. I mean, thinking about that, like Rev said, you got the running back, you got the coaches, you got the playmakers at receiver, you got the opportunistic young and up and coming defense. Ryan Tannehill, dude, that ain't gonna be no problem. If Aaron Rodgers or Ryan Tannehill, you out, buddy. Tannehill's out. I don't care what the contract says. I don't know how many years you got left. You trade it. Because I'm giving me Skeet Rodgers. Skeet Rodgers to the Titans. If you don't go back to Green Bay, that will definitely be the best move for him. And look at that division, Rev. Colts, Jags, and the Texans. Man, that's just like the division. Aaron Rodgers will be in paradise for the next 2 or 3 years if he goes to the Titans. So, man, yeah, he's definitely smart to be looking at homes in Nashville. This would be a definitely our false move for Aaron Rodgers to leave Green Bay and go to Tennessee.
Well, I just look at you look at Tennessee and all they got, but I think Aaron Rodgers would not have a problem going to Pittsburgh.
You said you didn't want it.
Well, I didn't want him for 1 year. 2 years, yeah. 2 years, yeah. Maybe 3.
Diarrhea. He
All
said you didn't
right.
want him. You been saying you didn't want him. Now, if it's multiple seasons, now you'll take it.
Hey, man, if he try to go to Tennessee, that's in the AFC. Well, no, can't have it. Can't have it. Man, that team will be very dangerous. With the defense they got off, no thank you. All right, let me dip to the nation real quick before we hit the last two. They got some funny. They really love the Commodores and names. All right, let's see.
Oh, them jokes just started.
Still the Washington Commander. The mascot is Cobra Commander. Yo, Joe. Alexis says too common or bland of a name. Oh Lord. Vincent said Captain Crunch is their mascot. The Washington Crunch Berries. And then he went to the movies. Bennett, stick around, Bennett, after Arnold Schwarzenegger stabbed him. Talking about stick around.
Let off, what do you say?
Let off a little steam, Bennett. Yeah. Alexis said about Aaron Rodgers, he bluffing. Really? And Vincent said, Karen Rodgers must have one too many concussions. He probably think Nashville is Green Bay. So he been hit too many times. So
we all know Shailene is helping him make this season. I think she's from Nashville.
Titans are missing only a quarterback, but Skeet will find a way to screw it up. The Titans will lose to the Niners in the Super Bowl next year with Karen Rodgers under center. Oh, that's a prediction for the Super Bowl if he goes to the Titans.
You better stop talking about Shailene, man. She's coming for you.
Karen would run that division. He not trying to get beat up in some other division. And the Titans will be the favorites in Alexis saying the AFC next year and probably Super Bowl favorite. I agree.
Bluffing, Alexis. Make up your eyes. Be bluffing or not.
All right. Here we go. What Super Bowl path do you prefer that they got there? Who had the easiest path? I said Bengals or Titans. I don't know why I got the Titans. That should have been what's the name? The Rams.
Right. Yeah,
I must change.
Well, the Rams made trades and a lot of free agency moves, whereas the Bengals really built their team through the draft. I guess that was the difference I was saying. Team that built their team through the draft, or the team that makes a lot of trades, a lot of free agent moves, for a lot of proven players, and get that way.
Okay.
From that standpoint, thanks for breaking that down. Since I missed the pregame meeting, of course you would want the Cincinnati Bengals path because it's more sustainable. They did it by way of draft. You only have those veterans on the Rams for just a season. How long will OB beat you? How long my man from Denver Broncos be on the team?
Oh, Von Miller.
Von Miller. Those are going to be some casualties in the next year. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to be straight for at least 2 or 3 more years because they don't have to pay Joe until another 2 years. So what the Bengals have done going with their Super Bowl path is more sustainable for long-term success.
Yeah. I mean, you look at what's going on. The Bengals, and I think the Bengals, the Rams now, last time I checked, they had like $30-some million under the cap. So they may be still able to add something. And the Bengals are up there too as far as cap money. So these two teams could be back next year, depending on what happens. You never know. Now, oh boy, here we go. And we usually put another team in here, but we got a different team this week. Are the Nets done? Are they done? I thought you said. I'm sorry.
Went first. I was just explaining what I meant.
Oh, you explaining? Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, coach tried to speed through 5 and 5. Okay, let me be quick. Okay, I agree with Rev. I prefer to build through the draft. I mean, easy when you're making these trades and whatnot. But like Rev said, you only got a small little window. Like the Rams. Rams need to win it now. Because if you don't win it in that small little window, it might be, like I say, it might be a lot of drama coming up in the future. You're going to have salary cap problems. Everybody's not going to stay. You're going to have a lot of continuity issues within the team. Whereas if you build through the draft, you building it, like you say, your salary cap is protected. Most of your players, you don't have to pay them for 2 or 3 years, and you still winning and being competitive now. At the same time, managing your salary cap, planning for the future, deciding which ones you're going to keep, which ones you're going to let go, and making smarter decisions while at the same time being a competitive team. So I agree. Building through the draft, even though the Rams way it works sometimes, but I'd rather build through the draft because at least my salary cap will be manageable that way.
Okay, I mean,
Either or is fine with me.
Both of these teams in good positions as far as the future.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope that.
Well, the Rams ain't got no draft pick.
Yeah, but I think they already feel like they're loaded. They built their team, and this is the first time you see something like this. They built their team to go to the Super Bowl. Anything less than the Super Bowl from what they were doing as far as getting players and moving people around, anything less than that would have been a failure in Los Angeles. So
I agree, and some of their players, they do have some of their players are homegrown. Aaron Rodgers homegrown, Cooper Kupp homegrown. Let's see. That might be all I can think of right now. But those two are homegrown.
So
Rams and Stafford, some of those other guys, they were bought in.
I think Rev is frozen again. He's doing the mannequin challenge again. All right. Last topic.
Rev, we'll be ready for you when you get unfrozen.
Last topic. Are the Nets done? Now, the Nets have reached out, and I'm hearing, I don't know how true, but they are saying that they're open to trading James Harden, which is a shock considering they built this big three to challenge for the title. Even though it's 2.5, because Kyrie plays only half a season, so it's 2.5, and then Durant is hurt. So
they only have half a brain.
Yeah, so now, Rev, are the Nets done as title contenders?
You mean red, Coach?
Red.
Frozen.
It's a good day today.
Well, it's not looking good right now, Coach. That Durant injury is really affecting them a lot. And like we all predicted when this thing first started, when you're depending on Kyrie, Harden, and Durant, 3 guys who have proven together or solo, they not that dependable. You got to have somebody with them to get the best out of them. Those 3 together? No. We have no Mel Gibson. We have no Batman. We don't have a star. We got a lot of followers. No leaders. Dang, like you say, trading Harden after all they did to get him over there. Now you talking about you better trade him? Kyrie, I played half of the game. On the road, I played at home. You ain't gonna find me. I'm at home soaking in my bathtub, reading more books that make you stupid. Durant, of course, he wish he could be there. He's about as close to a leader as they can get. He's out right now. No telling when he gonna come back, and if he do come back, how effective is he gonna be? Those sprained MCLs ain't no joke. So, Coach, honestly, I think they are. I don't think it's a championship contender with this next team right now. Especially if they move Harden to Philly. You just making Philly stronger now. Bringing Ben over here at this point in the season is not gonna help the Nets this season. It might help them next season. But this season, if you make a trade for Harden for Simmons, the Nets are pretty much saying this season's over with for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm good because now it gives my Hawks an avenue to get back up in this thing. The more teams in front of us that suffer, the more chance my Hawks can get up in there. But right now, I'm not worried about the Nets. Matter of fact, I wish the Hawks played them right now.
Okay, you're looking at teams now. Philly, the Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks. All those teams have. I mean, the Nets are actually now in 6th place. When about a month ago, a month and a half ago, they were in 1st. Now they're in 6th place. James Harden has struggled badly the last few games. He's only averaging about 16, 17 a game and not doing anything shooting-wise. And Kyrie not doing his job. So Durant is missed. And, Joe Harris is out. The Nets are on a free fall. They're going to make the playoffs just by the Nets. But as far as championships, it doesn't look good. And like I said, like you just said, if you trade James Harden to Philly, what are you saying about your big three? What are you saying? You gave up on them? And now it's like, okay, well, we tried that. It didn't work. Let's do something else, which would be dumb. I mean, it's crazy. You're going to break up your big three and then bring in Simmons, who is a complete unknown right now. You don't know what Ben Simmons you're going to get. The one that used to score or the one who still has the block in his head. Yeah, the mental block, where you don't know what Ben Simmons you're going to get. You may get Ben Simmons just pass the ball and say, oh, I don't want that. Y'all need to give me the ball. I don't want it. So,
man, I wonder what, I hate to get personal, but I wonder what his woman thinking right now. Ben Simmons. I mean, like, dude, when I met you, you was on the court balling. I would say that's what his girlfriend is saying. And now, you just sitting at home outing. What's going on? Oh, Ben, I mean, somebody got to be telling this guy, dude, let it go. Get your stuff together and get back on that court. I mean, he should have been told Philly, all right, I'm just going to play this season. If y'all can trade me, trade me. If not, we'll see what happens. Because technically, he was wrong. He the one that let them down. I know they had their little comments during the offseason, but Ben let the Sixers down with his performance in the playoffs. You owe it to them to come back strong and to make a difference. They don't really need you now, but dude, you looking bad because they still winning without you. And now, like Coach said, you just sitting at home pouting this whole year. Does any team know what they're going to get from you now? What they know they are going to get is a mental case. A guy that when he don't get his way, he go pout. Take his ball home. I'm not playing. I don't care. I don't want to be here.
Okay, let's see. Joe Black said, when you talking about Burrow getting his extension, and Vincent said, Kyrie, Lord, somebody help Mr. Flat Earther. The Nets are the Keystone Cops. They're done.
It's going to be the Key Largo Cops.
Miss Young said there's a lot of echoing. I don't know I hope it's all fixed now. Hope we got it taken care of.
Sorry, Tisha.
That's not a mental block that Ben Simmons has. It's Hoover Dam blocking all kind of shooting talent. Vincent said he just does not have it anymore for some reason. So he just out there, and that's a shame because Simmons is very talented. He's a talented dude, but right now, his mindset is bad. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He's losing money every day.
That's the killer part. That money he losing, I couldn't take it.
Which we don't understand from him, but hey, if he doesn't mind losing money, well, hey. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say for him. It must be okay.
I say, I'm talking to Tisha, if you was his girlfriend, would you allow that to happen? Would you allow your NBA boyfriend to be sitting at home pouting instead of saying, boy, we gonna get your little hot butt back on that court and help our lifestyle? You gonna ruin us, you moron. Man, what do these ladies be saying to these guys? Man, my old girlfriends, I know they would allow this to happen.
And she said, teacher said, Red, you educating us today.
I need you to educate these athletes, teacher. And why they be acting like this, man?
And Vincent say he a great defender, but man, oh man, hot garbage on offense.
Hot garbage in the middle department, too.
And Red, to answer your question, she said, no, he couldn't do that.
I know, exactly. You know what? And teacher, that's why these guys don't choose sisters. These athletes, because ain't too many sisters gonna be allowing this to happen. Now, yeah, you gonna choose a little girl of another race. She might say, "Oh, Ben, it's okay. I feel a black girl. We don't get back out of that point. Free punching us. I'm telling everybody I'm dating the NBA player, and you sitting at home pouting. You look." I can't say words. I want to say, but
Vincent, Vincent say you need to call the meeting of the Beige Brothers of America and get your boy Ben Simmons in line. Steph Curry be the keynote speaker.
He about to get kicked out the Beige Brothers, man. Beige Brothers, we don't, you know, us Beige Brothers, we like to prove that we not punks. Because all y'all think us light-skinned guys are softies or punks. Ain't nowhere in the world we gonna settle for this type of behavior right here. I'm not playing because Joel and Doc was talking about me. They already been talking about. Not getting free throws, choking at the line. Then the Hawks knock you out the playoffs when you were the number one seed. You think you gonna get talked about? Man, please, this dude is straight chump change, man. He ain't nothing but a dang on candy apple. And his girlfriend ought to be ashamed. But let me stop talking about his personal life.
You know what Vince said right now? You know who's suiting up? DeBarge. DeBarge is suiting up right now, getting ready to make an NBA comeback. And he said, that's just light-skinned behavior, though. That's y'all light-skinned brothers.
See?
Y'all doing all that.
Hey,
But,
on this note, Vince, I don't believe in the rhythm of the night. No.
But seriously, though, with Simmons, it's like you all said, though, his mental block, whatever it is that's going in his head that's making him act like this, it's amazing, but it happens to some athletes. But in his case, you go from a kid who was averaging about 18 a game. Remember when they were talking about him as the next LeBron James? If he could just do what he did, he was averaging 18 points, 8 rebounds, 7 or 8 assists. He was the one up and coming. He had the size. He was like 6'8", 6'9", big kid.
He cute like a either.
Yeah, but he could ball. And then all of a sudden, something happened last year that only nobody knows but him that caused him to completely just say, forget it. I don't like basketball anymore. And I don't know any brothers, light skin, dark skin, pink skin, red skin, doesn't matter, who gonna turn down $19 million. Yeah. I don't know any of them. He may be the first one in history to turn down $19 million to not play, which is absolutely insane that he would just go and I don't know where he's residing now. If he's in the basement of his house just sitting and rocking or doing something.
I tell you, whatever chick chose him, like, man, I could have chose Klay Thompson, and I chose Ben Simmons. Wrong light-skinned brother.
Well, you know who got Klay locked up. Who
oh, yeah, that's right, my bad. Yeah, I forgot.
She says, but it just, it's scary to see him, and we done got on the Ben Simmons train, but it's got to be said to see a man who doesn't want money. And I'm not saying he's supposed to be money hungry, but you're not going to give away $19 million for whatever reason. You're not going to do it. I don't care what's going on.
He could be sitting on the bench. Yeah. You don't even have to play like that. Just show up and beat up for your team. I don't understand these guys, man.
But you know what I think he might be scared of also? If he gets traded to another team and he goes out there. One place he will never be allowed to play in is Philadelphia. Because if he comes back to Philadelphia with another team and goes out there and balls out, he may not make it out of the building. He may not make it out of the building because they may throw something at him, hit him with a tire and anything. They may pull all kind of stuff because
he'll be crying on the bench.
Yeah, why you didn't do this with us last year? What's up with that, dog? Why are you doing this? You going out here playing? But let me ask this, Red. Is he better off leaving Philadelphia right now?
Oh, yeah, he's done in Philly. I mean, this season, we about to get to the trading deadline, and he ain't played 1 minute of basketball. Philly, they the third, top 3 seed in the East.
Yeah.
They have proven. They are moving on. That's why I say I thought Ben was going to come in at the beginning of the season, maybe take a week or two out, but eventually decide, come back, play some ball, and just play semi-competitive till they trade him. Dude, you just been AWOL this whole time. It's not even. We're not even sure they can get a good deal for you now. I mean, we don't heard all of these rumor deals, but none of them have come to fruition because teams just don't know about Ben's makeup right now. They don't know what he's gonna do on the court. They don't know what he's gonna do off the court. They don't know what his mental makeup is right now. They don't know what his future plans are right now. They don't know nothing about this kid. For the past, ever since he went AWOL. Yeah, we used to know about him, but right now, Ben Simmons is an unproven commodity.
Here's a question for you, and I'm just gonna sit in the corner and laugh. What would you do if Ben Simmons was traded to the Lakers?
For who?
I say Horton Tucker and Avery Bradley.
Oh, I take that.
Would you?
I'm saying, I mean, if LeBron could you send him over there and let LeBron try to pick his brain and get him out of that mental funk. That might be best for him. I thought you were going to say the Hawks.
No.
And if you had said the Hawks for somebody like John Collins or one of those 3-point shooters we got, I don't think I want Ben Simmons. Some Hawks fans want him because of his defense. It's just right now he's an unproven commodity. I don't know what we get. I don't like players that pout. I don't need him on my team. If he went to the Lakers, I probably would be more accepting because he got LeBron to get in his head. I talk my crap about LeBron, but one thing I can say about LeBron, if you got anything in your tank, he gonna get it out of you. They ain't working with Westbrook too much, but Westbrook, they on the same peers right now. Ben Simmons would look up to LeBron, and LeBron could coach Simmons and try to get whatever going on in his head outside. That's about the best situation I can say right now. I can't think of no other player in this league that can find out what's going on with Ben Simmons other than Klein James.
I'm not going to lie. If you put a lineup of Westbrook, Malik Monk, Simmons, Davis, and LeBron out there, that's a dangerous lineup. I mean, that is a very dangerous lineup if they could pull it off. And then you got your bench with Reeves, Carmelo, Stanley Johnson, Howard Doga. That's a dangerous lineup if they put that together. But I know the Lakers not going to trade him. Huh?
I mean, Ben ain't got to come ready to play. If you think Sixer Nation on his butt, what you think Laker Nation gonna do coming out here with this weak stuff?
Laker Nation when he let him walk through the tunnel.
That's what I'm saying.
He might not get through the tunnel with them because they may be throwing stuff at him. Vincent is really on Ben Simmons. He said, no way Ben's mama is black. He said, ain't no way that man's mama is not black. He said, a black mama would have grabbed him by the ear, walked him behind down the Wells Fargo Center, and tell him to get in there and be a man, fulfill your obligations, and have a Coke and a smile. Remember, and see, I know you the movie man. Remember what Junior Battle's mom did to him and Coach Carter?
Yeah.
I think that would happen if Ben had a black mama. She'll grab him and be like, look, come on here, boy. Get in here. And you're going to do everything he tell you to do. And then Ben said, yes, ma'am. He don't be able to do anything but yes, ma'am, and that's it.
Yeah, that guy stole. He almost stole that movie from Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, and Vincent also said LBJ. He don't think he could get through to him. He's a lost cause. Vincent, I'm gonna slightly disagree. I don't think Simmons is a lost cause. I think he just needs to be in the right situation, I'm going to say, where somebody could actually do something to him really seriously and stop playing around with him and just get in his face and be like, look here, partner, you here to play ball. You not here to do all this stuff you doing. And for you not to want to play ball, the Rev is here. Rev.
What's up?
We talking about the great, and I'm a quotes around that, Ben Simmons. Now, I'm going to ask you two questions, and I'm going to start the first
one. Great guns, though.
Ben Simmons playing, Rev, this is what Vince said about you. So you thugging it out. He like the hat.
Don't let Vince hide you like that.
I'm at the church, man.
Rev,
I ain't trying to be that thing. But go ahead.
What do you think? What Ben Simmons' situation? Up is back on again. So here we go. It's in straight now. What do you think? Do you think that he could actually thrive in Philly, or that's a good one? Bishop Thug a lot, thugging for Jesus. Okay, I believe Vincent alone. He on one today. Where do you see Simmons going if he's going anywhere? Where would you see him going?
He would definitely need to go to a spot where they got computers. Like I was listening to you make the statement about him going to the Lakers. That would not be a good move because Westbrook is not the greatest shooter. Ben Simmons is not the greatest shooter. LeBron is a streaky shooter. So you got to have people who can stroke the ball and spread out the floor. And the Lakers would be able to defend quite easily because what teams would do is just tag off Simmons and Russ and just get them shoot the ball. So the Lakers would not necessarily be a good fit. I think an ideal situation would be the Brooklyn Nets, because you look at KD can shoot the ball, Kyrie can shoot the ball. You put Patty Mills out there. Patty Mills can shoot the ball. If Joe Harris could shoot the ball. LaMarcus Aldridge has a nice shot. Blake Griffin, if he's on, he has a nice shot. So I think really, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets, I'm trying to make that trade quick, fast, and in a hurry.
So, what would that say about the Nets? Would that be saying they giving up on the big three?
I think the big three is giving up on the big three.
Definitely Kyrie and Jimmy.
Yeah, James.
They don't want to play together.
I think James Harden is tired of the big three experiment, especially with Kyrie being dependable. James Harden is looking at his years, and he's not getting these years back. So he's trying to get into a situation where he can build on his legacy when it comes to the team. He has an individual legacy, but his team legacy is none but lose. This is not looking good for his legacy, having this big three that's just crumbling by the minute. So now you got to look at somebody, or he has to look at another organization where he has to have another opportunity to compete for a championship. And he's looking at what's going on in Philadelphia. They got their GM he's accustomed to. Then you got Joel Embiid, who just flat out balling out. Nobody would have expected the Sixers to be competing on this level, especially without Ben Simmons. He has done what superstars are supposed to do. That is, raise the level of the supporting players. Tyrese Maxey showing out, being a big-time contributor in the absence of Ben Simmons. You got Seth Curry doing exceptionally well as a shooter. And he benefits because Joel Embiid commands double teams and triple teams, so he gets open looks. Tobias Harris is having a solid season. So, James Harden is like, you add me to Embiid, and they just got to get rid of Ben Simmons, who they already want now, give up maybe a draft pick or two, and you put me with that team right there, we got a great chance to win the chip.
Okay. Rev, answer this question, but Vince put it out there, and I want you to try to maintain your focus now. Answer this question right here.
I plead the fifth there. Let's move on.
Because this is what Vince says, Mama. If she was there, that's what she would have done right there. And me and Red was talking about the scene from Coach Carter where Junior Battle's mama brought her in there and told him he gonna do what you tell him to do. He said that's what a black mama would have done. Drug him in there.
I don't know now, man. These black mamas are changing, because unfortunately, without males being present in these mamas, are creating mamas' boys. And this is why you got this influx of transferring that's taking place in college sports, high school sports. You got kids playing in 4 different high school teams all 4 years. So, and I think I'm looking at the comment that Vincent just put, black mothers and younger also, unfortunately, and that's some of the byproduct of younger mothers who may not have strong father figures. They're creating these mama boys. And sometimes one of the things, and I'm not saying this is Ben Simmons' case, because I think his father actually was present in his life. Matter of fact, when he got signed with LSU, they gave him a job as an assistant coach. But, a lot of these kids are becoming mama boys. And, I know there's some parents who may be watching. And one thing that parents have to watch to guard themselves against, if they have not necessarily brought their children in the best environment, which may be a holistic environment, a happy 2-parent home, is you got to guard yourself against guilt parenting. And sometimes people, because they may not have brought their children in the best situation, they allow their children to get away with stuff as to offset maybe the bad environment or not the most ideal situation to bring them in. I was in a situation where I brought my daughter in not the most ideal situation. I wasn't married to her mother when she was brought into the world, but I had to forgive myself, and I was going to tell my daughter, hey, I don't want you to make the same decision I made. I'm not going to sit up there and parent the rest of my life based on guilt. So I think, parents they got to guard themselves against that, because there's a lot of bad parenting that's going on. That's why we see what we're seeing. Everybody talking about the money aspect. No, a lot of this is bad parents and not allowing their children to learn how to stick through certain situations, learn that sometimes losing, failure, and sitting on the bench might be in your best interest so that you can grow. Everybody got to have the participation trophy, can't be MVPs now and so forth. You got so much where in some little league sports they don't even keep score because they don't want anybody to be embarrassed. I mean, this stuff is just ridiculous.
Don't worry, Real. All these little young weakling athletes, they gonna get the reality check soon, and when they do, we'll all be here watching for them to wipe the egg off of their face, and they'll have nobody, and the parents will have nobody to blame for themselves raising their kids in this little weak, soft, make-believe, fantasy land sports environment that they're coming up with, instead of preparing them for the reality of the harsh, real world, especially the real world sports. And you don't prepare your child for that, you're right. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to be prepared at adversity.
Here's a sad byproduct of what you said. What you said is very true. We just have witnessed suicide in an alarming rate in the public eye. We had 3 high-profile suicides that have taken place within the past week. suicide is on the uptick amongst young people. And the reality is it's happening because they're not equipped to deal with the blows that life will throw at you. They're not equipped to deal with failure. You know, that's one of the things about team sports that's great. Failure actually teaches you lessons. Getting cut from a team, ask Michael Jordan, motivated him to be arguably the best player to ever play the game of basketball. You know, and these kids are being robbed from these lessons because parents are trying to create an environment where they want their kids to have it like Burger King, have it their way. You can't tell life to hold off the onions, hold off the peppers, hold off the mustards. Life comes with all that stuff, and it's in our youth as we deal with failure, trials, and tribulations, where we learn how to deal with certain things and we bounce back. Some of the greatest stories that we celebrate in sports and as well as in politics, in entertainment, so forth, so on, is because of people's failures. I mean, you know, I know you're not a big Tyler Perry fan, Red, but the brother was homeless.
Oh, I know his story.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I know you know his story, but I'm talking about you. I know you're not a big fan of his work, but I'm saying this man became a billionaire because of the failures or hardship he had to deal with life. And you could criticize his work, anybody. I'm just speaking general now, but the dude has arguably the best work ethic. Regardless if he was trash or not, he has the best work ethic that I've ever seen in anybody that's ever written. Like, who else writing eight different shows at the same time? It's just unbelievable.
I respect him as a businessman.
Yeah,
The man definitely has business acumen.
Great work ethic, and he learned that based upon failure. And unfortunately, this is what is being robbed of our young people right now. And unfortunately, in the sports world, we're going to see more whining. In life, we're going to see more suicides because these kids are not equipped to deal when life throws them lemons. They don't know how to make lemons.
Well, and another thing,
I hate that too.
Vincent said is another thing that the old school moms did that the new school, the old school mamas wouldn't let you do this. He said black mothers wouldn't allow you to wear skinny jeans.
Sure, you're right.
You're not wearing no skinny jeans or nothing like that. It's not happening. And you know,
or pants off they hanging all off their butt.
You know,
I mean, old school pants would allow that.
One, and that would have been straightened out real fast. But, you know, I look at Simmons, I'm like Vincent. I'm rooting for him to find a team because I still think he has something to give to the sport. But that real bad, and I talk about it, we talk about it in our classes right now with my kids. That mental block ain't just going to go away by just you. Somebody has to get in there and say, hey, Ben, let's talk. You got to sit him down or do something because he got that block in his head right now, and it's rooted itself in him. Because I don't know anybody, black, white, or whatever, that would just sit around and give up, just don't make money. You know, you need money to survive, and I know you don't want to be money hungry, but you're not just going to let money just go away. I don't see it. It's
well,
not.
They said that he's already lost $19 million.
Yeah, $19 million.
And by the time this year ends, if he doesn't come back to play, he would have lost $32 million. But let's put some things in context. I totally agree that his mental is fragile. One of the worst places to be with a fragile mental capacity is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Arguably, it is the most harsh fan base in American sports. You know, you do not want to be fragile playing for Philadelphia. And I think if Ben Simmons came to Atlanta, he wouldn't be as fragile.
No.
because you don't have the passionate fan base who's going to call you to the carpet. You know what Ben Simmons would have gotten here in Atlanta when he didn't take that layup over Trey Young. If he had played for Atlanta and if Trey Young played for somebody else, well, at least he got a triple-double, and we still lost.
Yeah.
You know, he was Rookie of the Year. You know, he the best thing we had since Dominique. So you know, he got a lot in the tank. He just needs to go to a city where they're not as critical, and he'll do whatever.
Yeah, because anytime every time think about a Philadelphia fan, and the first thing pop up, they beat up Santa Claus. Yep. Let's go back to that incident. They beat up Santa Claus at a stadium. So
snowball.
Yeah, so ain't no telling what they'll do to him. He would, and that's like I was telling Red. If he went to another team and he come back and he puts up, say, a triple-double against Philadelphia, I don't think they let him out the building. He'd have to have police escort.
I don't think they will let him out the building if he doesn't score a triple-double. I think if he shows up, they're going to let him out the building. That's how much they don't like him here.
Yeah, he's public enemy non grata here, boy. I tell you. It's the mindset that he's put these Philly fans in. Now, what if all of a sudden, by some drop down from the sky, he decides, okay, Philly, we got a team, I'm going to play. And his first game, he goes out there and scores 20 and gives away 10 assists. What does that do for him, Rev, between the scale of 1 to 10, as far as fan bringing him back?
I think he would have to put a string of games together for the Philadelphia fans to really get on board. I think he would have to probably put a month together before they believe in the buy-in. One game wouldn't do it. You see, here's the thing about Philadelphia fans. They are very astute. They're crazy. They're very loud, but they know their stuff. So Ben getting 2 or 3 games where he even got a triple-double, that wouldn't move the needle for them because the damage has been done. And they're not going to get excited. So he would have to play the rest of the year at that level. And then it still wouldn't be enough because they're going to judge him off his playoff play.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the playoffs. Mm-hmm.
Because that's where everything went to HE double hockey sticks and a handbasket. It was in the playoffs. So he will not be off the hook until he shows up and shows out in the playoffs. And get a ring. Yep, that's real, right? Yep.
That's all he can do for them fans right now is lead them to a championship. And he's not going to get the opportunity because he's not going to be there because they're about to get rid of him and they're finna bring in Hardy. So you're going to get your wish, Ben. You'll be in Brooklyn. You'll be out of there. I just hope you have your big boy pants on because the New York media ain't no easier. Okay. Can't make it in Brooklyn. Well, maybe they'll trade you to Sacramento soon.
Oh, but that's where careers go to just sell.
Well, that's where he is going to be soon.
All right. We talked about Ben Simmons enough. Let's go to the NBA All-Star game. We saw the picks last week. We saw who got picked. Then they announced the reserves. Now, looking at the reserves, you got Chris Paul, Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Draymond Green. In the East, you got Darius Garland, Fred VanVleet, James Harden, Jimmy Butler, Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum, and Zach LaVine. Looking at that list, who should have made it that didn't?
Ray, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, in the West, I don't really have no problem with the reserves. I got a problem with Wiggins starting, and it's probably going to keep another deserving player off the team, which is DeJounte Murray. Because had Wiggins not been in the starting lineup, he probably could have put Towns in the starting lineup, or maybe one of the other front court players, and had a spot for DeJounte Murray. Wiggins making the starting lineup, I think that was unexpected. But hey, it is what it is. All of the players deserve it. I mean, all of them are having okay years. In the East, I kind of wish LaMelo Ball or maybe Jared Allen for the Cavaliers had made it. Chris Middleton, I'm not sure. He was an all-star this year. I think he was hurt earlier in the year. I think Jared Allen for Cleveland definitely should have made it. Being at the All-Star games in Cleveland, and he's the second best center in the entire Eastern Conference. LaMelo Ball, what he's doing with Charlotte, I definitely thought he would have snuck up in there. But I think that the commissioner has one more spot, right? One player he's going to put in there. So we'll see who he picks for his special players. But definitely, I think LaMelo Ball was a snub in the East. And DeJounte Murray was a snub in the West.
I have to totally agree on Jared Allen. I mean, he is a huge part for the resurgence of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, the man is averaging a double-double, 16 points, 11 boards, and you got Cleveland doing things that they hadn't done in a long time. I mean, they are the third seed in the East. Who saw that coming?
Nobody.
So LeBron got traded back.
So clearly, Jared Allen deserves to be in that spot. You know, I can see a pitch for LaMelo Ball, while at the same time his team is ninth in the East. So I would make.
Man, they don't feel that far.
Yeah,
they're ninth in the East.
Yeah,
they got the Hawks by 2.5 games, but I can't really pitch too hard for LaMelo over Jared Allen when you got somebody who has led their team to the third seed in the East. That's without Ricky Rubio. That's without Colin Sexton, and these dudes are just straight ball. You know, if LaMelo's team was higher in the standings, I could see LaMelo, you know, being in there, but you can't reward LaMelo for being a ninth seed right now. Jared Allen definitely got snubbed.
Let me ask y'all something. What do you all think about Miles Bridges?
I think Miles Bridges had a great start. I think he's kind of fizzled out a little bit. You know, if the All-Star team had been chosen within the first 2-3 months of the season, I think he was a no-brainer because he had like several 30-point games, 20-point games. Charlotte was doing exceptionally well, but within the past month and a half, he's kind of fallen off a bit, and I know that firsthand because he's on one of my fantasy basketball teams. So I've had to bench him a couple of times because he hadn't been putting up the same production that he was earlier in the season. Because there was an argument for him early on in the season that he should have been probably, or he could be, most improved player in the NBA. Because I mean, the Joker was ball, but lately he's kind of tapered off a bit. So I can't see him being snubbed.
And to go piggyback on what you said about Jared, y'all said about Jared Allen. Jared Allen is shooting 67% from the field. My God, 67%, and you don't have him on your All-Star team? I guess maybe because, and I want to go, I like Scott Van Pelt when he talk about Jared Allen. He always played the Jackson 5 music, with that afro on his head. He likes see Jared with that afro. And Allen, I think, is going to get selected. I can see it. I think he's going to get selected. Now, another name that came up that I just thought about, and I don't know if he's fizzled off or not, but he's been a triple-double kind of guy, DeJounte Murray for the Spurs. I know the Spurs are not winning. That's probably why he's not on there. But DeJounte Murray has picked it up big time. He may get the left since Draymond is out. He may get consideration. But they say he's been balling. The only person that has more triple-doubles than him this year is Jokic. So he might squeeze in. Like I say, even though San Antonio is terrible, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But hey,
yeah. But here's the thing: what you just said, as we talk about, as you mentioned the snubs, and this is where players wind up leaving after their rookie contracts and those extensions are up. Jared Allen not getting the recognition that he needs up front. He's in the small market Cleveland. In basketball, even if Bridges balled out continuously, LaMelo Ball balled out continuously. In basketball, he's in a small market, Charlotte. DeJounte Murray, balling out, as you say, small market, San Antonio. And these are the things that cause these type players, once they're no longer bound by that extension of the rookie contract, and why they ultimately leave. Because your market matters. If you can't tell me if Jared Allen is still in Brooklyn, putting up 16 and 11, being one of the best big men in the league, he's left off as a reserve for the All-Star. But it's easy to do when you play in Cleveland.
that's true. That is true. So, yeah, it looks like. I forgot. I think that would apply also to our homeboy. I call him Mr. McDonald's now, Anthony Edwards.
Small market, Minnesota. And I mean, but there's so many guys you can pick from Minnesota. Minnesota's actually having a great season. You got Karl Anthony Towns back on the team. I think D'Angelo Russell, did he make it?
He did.
He did. Well, Edwards and Russell were going to struggle to get on that team. But, you got Cat on there. And I guess that's enough for where they are right
now. Okay. All right. Let's go on. We're about to close it out, but we got one more topic to discuss. The NFL Championship recap.
I should have logged off after that last.
Yeah, Real. You thought you had missed this discussion. We saved this one for you.
Yes, the championship recap where the two teams who they thought, well, not two teams they thought were favorites, but both of them seem to be favorites. The 49ers and the Chiefs didn't quite make it. The Chiefs were upset by the surging Cincinnati Bengals on the field goal. And then the Rams said, hey, we trying to stay at home. And they beat the 49ers. Let's go with the Chiefs game first. Rev. Ultimately, they got the coin toss. What do you think happened with the Chiefs down the stretch? Did it seem like they got a little too cocky and decided to, they jumped out to that big lead and then they just couldn't find it? What happened?
Well, everything started crumbling right before the half when they didn't take that field goal. I mean, that was just a no-brainer. Take the field goal when you don't have any more timeouts. When you get into the queue, trying to throw a little swing pass to Tyreek Hill, expecting him to juke the Cincinnati Bengals players to score a touchdown. I mean, Patrick Mahomes should have used common sense. If you see that Tyreek Hill doesn't have a straight line to the end zone, throw the ball out of bounds, and then just kick the field goal, you're up 2 touchdowns. I mean, that just makes sense. And, I mean, I'm not into conspiracies, but the Patrick Mahomes I saw in the second half, that didn't look like a defense that just stopped him. It looked like something else was involved. I mean, some of his decisions, his demeanor, something just didn't look right. And I'm not going to try to say he was point shaving, he was flawed, but the way he played, it just looked like something was fishy. I mean, it was embarrassing. To be honest, it looked like, as I said on my Facebook page, that I was looking at the reincarnation of Matt Ryan in the Kansas City Chiefs uniform. I mean, it looked that bad. Man. I'm like, I had to start questioning if I could rock with Patrick Mahomes long term after that second half performance. Because that just looked like a vintage Matt Ryan meltdown. Epic meltdown. And let me just say, don't ask me anything about the Rams 49ers game, because I didn't watch 1 second of it because I was so nauseated after what I saw from the Chiefs game. That's how nauseated I was, because I thought I had awakened from a nightmare to see the number 15 jersey behind center look so much like the number 2 jersey of Atlanta. I was just sick. I was just sick. I was just sick, man. I'm done. That's
Red. Your thoughts, Red?
I see Mahomes on gave Rev a rude awakening, man. Hell, Rev. Mahomes gonna have you in therapy, man. It was like that. You couldn't even watch the Rams game. It was that bad. Woo. Hey, the fellas they gonna be on you again, Rev. When they see this show right here. Just get ready for it. You gonna have more posts coming this week, but it's very entertaining. I'm enjoying all of it. My thoughts on the game. Like I say, man, the Chiefs, they came up against a good team, whereas a lot of the games they play, had they done this against a subpar team, they might have survived. In the playoffs, you just can't do this. I mean, they've been doing this stuff all year long. Mahomes ain't been the quarterback he usually was. He's been making mistakes all year. The defense hasn't been that consistent, been suspect all year. Like I say, this just been a different Chiefs team all year long. When they come up against that, we thought they had figured it out, but they come up against certain teams that'll let you off the hook, then it will look like they figured it out. But I knew it. I said, when the playoffs start and they come up against better teams, we'll see how good that defense is. We'll see if Mahomes has become the Mahomes of old, or if he's still a mistake-prone Mahomes. They had a 21-3 lead when I left the Hawks game. It was 21-3 when I finally started looking at the game. They scored a touchdown right before half, made it 21-10. Chiefs got the ball, drove down the field. I said myself, yeah, if they go ahead and get some points before halftime, then this game might be over. I got busy doing something else. I came back. It was after halftime, third quarter it started. I was finally ready to watch completely with my undivided attention, and it was still 21-10. So I didn't know at that point that the Chiefs failed to score before halftime by doing what they did. But once the Bengals made it 21-17, Rev, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other folks were thinking, here we go again. And it's just like, the mistakes. I don't know if they start playing tighter. I don't know if Andy Reid put too much trust in Mahomes and let Mahomes try to figure this thing out himself. Whatever. This has been a different Chiefs team the entire season. And everything we saw when they were making their mistakes early in the season, when we thought they had figured it out, it just came into fruition in the playoffs. And that's what happens. Whatever team you really are will come into fruition in the playoffs. You make the mistakes you make in the regular season, in the playoffs, and you're going home. Mahomes, turnovers. Chiefs, bad defense. Blowing leads. Not playing your best, not being solid on all sides of the ball. That's what happened with Kansas City. And like I say, it ended their season prematurely. Now, I don't think, I still think Mahomes is a good quarterback. I still think the Chiefs are a good team. They definitely got some retooling to do. They definitely got some changes to make. But don't worry, they'll be back next season. Mahomes is still a franchise quarterback. He just became a little turnover prone and a little mistake prone in his fourth year. It happens. We've seen it all from all quarterbacks. He'll get it together, I hope. If he don't, well, Rev, you really gonna have some apples to wait. But this Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs will be back. It's not over for them. I definitely see Mahomes making another Super Bowl run. But as far as this season goes, too many mistakes, too many turnovers, too much bad defense, and not enough solid coaching.
So now they mentioned that Mahomes and Allen, after they had that duel against each other, they say that seems like it's gonna be the future Brady against Peyton Manning. Does Joe Burrow come in and interrupt that, and he inserts himself in there?
Of course, it's not just two quarterbacks that's going to run the AFC for years to come. It's about 3, 4, maybe 5 quarterbacks that's going to be in contention for years to come. We got your boy Herbert with the Chargers. You got Burrow. You got Mahomes. You got Allen. You still got Derek Carr with the Raiders. Who knows what's going to happen with Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville? Like you say, you got teams that's coming up. Who even knows what's going to happen with the young kid with the Jets? He started to make a little turnaround late in the season. So you got some up-and-comers with the quarterback position in the AFC. It's not just it's going to be a battle of 2 quarterbacks, Mahomes and Allen. It's going to be a battle of a few quarterbacks. But Mahomes will be right there in it. He'll be right in the mix.
I'm a lower that number because I think Redding included some guys who have not yet proven anything. I think they have some intangibles, like Herbert has the intangibles, but we haven't seen him do anything in the playoffs. So I can't put him on that scale with Mahomes, Allen, and now Burrow. I think it's a 3-headed monster in the AFC.
Yeah, we're definitely with Burrow
in the South. So we're not necessarily surprised at what Joe Burrow has done because we saw this live and in living color when he played for LSU. He has that dog in him. He has that it factor. And it's a little surprising he got the Bengals to where they are in year 2. But we all saw that at some point the Bengals were going to get better. And he's shown us not only ability, but he showed us he knows how to recognize what he needs. Because he was the one who said we need to take Chase, the wide receiver, over the offensive lineman that they need. And he knows his own ability. Because of his elusiveness, because of his key QB awareness, he realized I can offset some of the stuff that's going to take place without a great offensive line. So I'd rather have the wide receiver that can get us points, yardage, than get us an offensive lineman where I may not have that great weapon like a Chase. And see, that's the kind of QB that you build a franchise around. Not like we're doing in Atlanta. You got to have everything perfect. Plus, you got to pay the man to get, you got to pay him big money. Then you got to surround him with a great offensive line, great skill players, great defense. You ain't got money to do all of that. Some got to suffer. And you see how great Joe Burrow is becoming. Now, we've only really seen greatness for 1.5 seasons, so I'm not going to say the great player he is, but the great player he's building to be, because there are not too many other players that we know in this league that can get sacked 9 times and his team still win the game. Imagine the guy in Atlanta gets sacked 9 times. He would have just been tap dancing the rest of the game.
They gonna kill you, man. You keep throwing Matty Ice name at every topic. But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. The Bengals listening to Joe Burrow. That's something. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he was crying for the Packers to listen to him when making decisions. Bengals listening to Joe Burrow right away. Okay, we need to take Chase. Okay, Joe, no problem. What else you want? Man, get us another tight end and receiver in the draft. No problem, buddy. But something tells me Joe's going to request a little offensive line help this offseason.
And that's what he needs, right? You already got Chase. You already got T. Higgins. You already got Joe Mixon. So he should be good at skills play. Now give me somebody who can protect. You know.
Alexis said this, and let's see what you all think about this. The Bengals may be a team of destiny.
No such thing, man. Whoever play the best between the Rams and the Bengals, that's who's going to win. Alexis.
I mean, nobody saw this coming, so you can use that language. Nobody, I mean, what were their odds to win from Vegas? Like 50,000 to 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you use it from a gambling perspective, yeah, they were a team of destiny. I mean, nobody saw the Bengals making this kind of move. Their own fans didn't see this kind of move. I mean, but let's be honest, they should not be playing in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs arguably pulled off the second worst choke job. One step lower than the Falcons did. This game, I missed the first quarter. Coach called me like, this game over. They up 21-3. I mean, they were moving the ball at will. So the Chiefs lost this game more than the Bengals won the game. Because even if the Chiefs had kicked the field goal, that would have taken some of the steam out of the Bengals' optimism. But when you allowed them to get this big stop right before the half, you gave them all the momentum in the world. Because it's just logic. Like Andy Reid, I love the fact that he wants to roll with Patrick Mahomes, but he got to reel Patrick Mahomes in sometimes. You can't go for everything, bro. We're going to take 3 points here because at the half, we're going to get the ball back. So if we go 14, plus get the ball back with a chance of going up 21, we score 21 to start the third quarter, 95% chance the game is over. Yeah. So Andy Reid is to be blamed for not being the coach. Patrick Mahomes works magic, but doggone, bro, we up 11. We just lost this team a few weeks ago, being up 11 at the half. We're not going to give them a chance to get any excitement. We're going to go 14, get this ball back, have a methodical drive, get up 21, game over. Their spirits are crushed.
Yeah, I mean, watching that game, just like when I called you, I mean, Mahomes was spinning, disco dancing, throwing underhand, throwing sideways, between his legs, behind. He was doing everything in that first half, and everybody was saying, well, that's Patrick Mahomes. Here we go. This thing is about to be over fast. He couldn't run away from the defense in the second half, and I couldn't understand that. I'm
Coach, let me just, I want to put some more teeth to what I said in terms of it looked like some hanky-panky. If you look at the last two plays, right before overtime.
Thank you, Real.
When KC had a chance to put this game away. And he took 2 sacks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He ran and lost 17 yards the last play. Then he ran another play before then, got sacked, and didn't have nowhere to throw the ball. And he got like a 1-yard gain out. But he took like 10, 12 seconds off the clock. I said, something ain't right about this. I understand you don't want Joe Burrow to get the ball back. But, bruh, you don't put your kicker in a worse scenario where he got to kick the ball 17 more yards. That was just absolutely insane.
Then he dropped the ball off. The Bengals could have ended it.
He could have fumbled the ball. The game
Yeah.
been over.
I can't believe the Bengals did not fall on that ball. I almost went crazy.
Yeah, that should have been it.
Bengals. But yeah, that was definitely
that kind of stuff. Just
that. I ain't gonna lie, real. That didn't look like Mahomes. I was shocked Mahomes was doing some of that.
Because you look at a quarterback with his mindset, and he's not a veteran yet, but a mindset would be throw it away, get rid of the ball. You're not taking no sacks at that time. You're gonna throw it away or do
He's
something.
made so many good decisions in his career. I mean, last week, like Graham said, this dude looked like he looked like a straight scrub A quarterback, man. I mean, I ain't dog my quarterback. I ain't gonna talk about Matt Ryan, but he definitely looked trash. I didn't know what Mahomes was doing last week. I'm talking about after halftime. After half, I mean, overthrowing players. Real, how many throws did he miss? How many key third down throws did he miss? Clutch, unclutched play. In opportunistic turnovers at the wrong time, man, Mahomes was looking straight garbage last week after halftime.
Call it what it is, Rev. When he threw if you're an NFL quarterback and you throw an interception to Eli Apple, your career is going down. I mean, Eli Apple, come on. Eli Apple, I could play better defense than he could. And then he would never make that throw in a double team situation like that to Tyreek Hill. I don't care if Tyreek Hill can outrun the country.
You throwing that ball like you throwing it to Calvin Johnson or Julio Jones.
Yeah, 6'6".
That's the kind of throw you make when you're playing with somebody who's 6'6". We know that Tyreek Hill is at his best when you throw it into space or when he's clearly outrunning the DB. You don't. How many times have you seen him get a jump ball?
None. Zero.
He's too short.
Zero.
But Coach, come on, man, move on before I go and get mad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Rams depressed enough.
All right. 49ers and Rams game was it was why we're hearing now that Jimmy Garoppolo is saying, I want to be traded to a team that's a contender. Because he's realized after that game and the Dallas game, it's over. When a coach tells you, don't throw the ball, we just going to run, not in this game with the Rams, but previous game, that means that it's time for you to go. They see Trey Lance, and they say, okay, we're going to go with him. Jimmy G, your time is up in San Francisco. And the way he ended that game with bad passes, a bad interception, and just running around there not throwing. Deebo Samuel, everybody in the country knew he was going to get the ball. And the Rams said, if we take that away, I guarantee you Jimmy G can't beat us. He can't beat us, we take Deebo away. And that's pretty much what they did. And Jimmy G, he couldn't throw it. I mean, Jokers was standing wide open. Now, since Rev didn't watch the game, what's your opinion on this game?
Is Deebo still crying on the bench? Is Odell still playing therapy? Because the fact that Deebo's crying on the bench should let you all you need to know about Jimmy Garoppolo. When your star receiver is crying on the bench after a big-time playoff game, that lets you know all you need to know about his quarterback right there. I picked the Rams, so I was pretty happy that they prevailed. To me, the Rams were the one team that really needed to make a Super Bowl run, especially with all the moves they made, trades, the going in for these big-time pieces. Yeah, you really needed to make a Super Bowl run, and you really need to win that game. Like you say, Coach, Jimmy G, they had a big-time lead again, let it get away. 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, let it get away. And I don't know what the word Jimmy G talking about, trade him to a contender. Dude, you were on a contender. And what did you do? You failed again. Why would any contending team bring you on board? For what? get them for you to manage the season, and then when the playoffs start, you to fail again. No, Jimmy G. You don't tell them what team trade you to. They'll make the best trade for their team. You ain't in no big time position right now to make any demands, okay? Who you think you are? Peyton Manning? Tom Brady? No, you a Jimmy G, the porn star QB. Stay in your lane.
Porn star QB.
Like I say, the Rams prevailed, and Kyle, like I say, Kyle's proven why the Falcons probably should have kept him instead of Dan Quinn. I mean, he's coaching his team up, but like we always say, you don't have that quarterback, you're not going to get over the hump in most situations. And in this situation, he didn't get over the hump. Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback, even though he almost blew it in the end. Thankfully, Sweet Tart Pop-Tart helped him out by dropping the ball. But like I say, the Rams to me were the better team. They had a better QB, and they prevailed, going on the Super Bowl run that they rightfully should be making. And like you say, it'll be the Trey Lance era next year. Should have been this year, but Jimmy G is confirmed that they're moving on.
Yeah,
I got one declaration that I need to confirm that somebody was trying to rebuke earlier during the show. Jimmy G will be wearing the black and gold next year in Pennsylvania.
There you go, Coach. You got your new QB.
Okay.
You got your new QB, Coach.
Last week,
when he come up against Pat Mahomes,
okay, let me take my
the
glasses
Chiefs
off.
will be prepared. Red, that's who you want to play next year. Jimmy G and the Steelers.
In the Steelers, no doubt about it.
Last week or week before last, it was Matt Ryan. This week is Jimmy G. Who next? Taysom Hill for the New Orleans Saints? Who next?
Well, if you're honest, though, they're better than any options you have on your roster now, and probably better than anything you could draft this coming draft. Would you rather have one of them or have Mason Rudolph?
Kenny Pickett or Jimmy G?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Coach. So you all might get a stopgap option. And I mean, all jokes aside, I think Jimmy G is better than anything else that you all could get and that you already have. And I think that Pittsburgh is savvy enough to make the best of it. Now, the problem is, I don't know if he's that kind of gritty kind of guy that y'all normally get in Pittsburgh. Y'all like those guys who bring their lunch pails. And he doesn't come off like that type of guy.
Yeah, you know me, all things considered, I think with Najee Harris and then the wideouts all being young and everything, you know, my ideal person, which I don't think gonna happen, but his ideal would be Deshaun Watson. But you know, that's not gonna happen because of all the factors around that, and they want too much.
Well, he's gonna go somewhere.
Yeah, they want too much. They want 3 first-round picks for him.
That ain't going. I don't think no team gonna give up that.
Not right now when they don't know when he'll be eligible to play.
Right. You can't figure out. Let's see what the nation said. Vincent is leaving early, so we'll see you next week, Vincent. He said he's slamming the gavel early. So
he ain't leaving early. We're just on late.
Yeah.
That ain't what it is. Yeah.
2 straight years. Alexa said 2 straight years the hometown team plays in the Super Bowl, which is true. That is true because last year was Tampa Bay.
Probably gonna win.
Vincent said Belichick laughing his behind off. He made the trade of the decade. He fooled us. We got punked. And now the thing is, you know, he said Trey Lance, you have all of our season to get yourself right. How do you all think, just off top of the cup, that Trey Lance will do?
I think the jury's out, man.
Yeah. But we ain't seen him play in 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, he has a physical talent. Does that translate into the mental talent? turn into being a leader? Can he make all the throws? You know, he's physically imposing, no doubt. He got good speed, but you know, can he really do what needs to be done? Now, the one thing I give him credit for is not necessarily him, but we know that he has a coach that will scheme for his ability. He would develop a game plan to his ability. So we've seen firsthand in Atlanta what Kyle Shanahan can do for an average quarterback. He can make him look great.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Matt Ryan ain't sniffed another MVP season since Kyle Shanahan has been out of Atlanta. So based upon what we've seen Kyle Shanahan do for a quarterback who didn't have nearly the arm talent or the speed that Trey Lance has, that's where I could be optimistic as a 49ers fan to say, because of this coach, I can see Trey Lance doing some great things. Not necessarily just based on him, but because of the coach, I can see Trey Lance being exceptionally good.
Okay. All right.
I concur.
We're going to table that and going to be ready. We're going to have a deep Super Bowl discussion next weekend because, of course, that is Super Bowl weekend. And the show is about to come to an end. And we want to just ask you all a question. Who has the right to do what? You have the right to do. Any one of you can go first.
Okay. Baseball, you have a right to hurry and get this lockout situation taken care of so I can find out what's going on with this Braves and Freddie Freeman contract. So, baseball, you have a right to fix your issues so my Braves can fix their issues and we can get ready to defend our championship. Let's go, Braves. You better give Freddie that 6 year, man. I swear, boy, we're going to have one of the most emotional shows ever if Freddie ain't on this team to get that ring when we open the season. I am going to go off.
Now, mine is not necessarily a sports. You have the right, but it's a ministry. You have the right that has an association with sports. So let me just give you the backdrop real quick. So I'm trying to work on my retirement and my package. And with this retirement, there's an organization that I have to go spend 3 days with in Orlando, Florida. It just so happened that the day that we have to start leaving towards Orlando, Florida, happens to be on Super Bowl Sunday.
Uh-oh.
Who schedules travel on Super Bowl Sunday? So I'm not going to put this organization's name on blast, but this organization that I'm talking about, you have the right to get people who love football to help plan your event. It makes absolutely no sense that you have preachers who love sports to be on a plane while the Super Bowl is going on. So I'm telling you, while the Super Bowl is going on, Rev is going to be in the airplane having to watch the Super Bowl by way of my tablet and not eating good Super Bowl food.
Oh, boy, that's not good for the Rev. My you have the right goes to North Carolina and Duke. You have the right to give us another classic basketball game tonight with Coach K. It's his last time in Chapel Hill. You have the right to put on a show for every college basketball fan around, and let's get a nail biter or a close game. You know I want North Carolina to win, but make it a great game and a classic, and seeing Coach K send him out the right way. Unfortunately, he had to lose, but just send him out the right way with a tribute because there's gonna be some all stars there tonight from past teams. So let's make it a great game. And
Let's go Duke.
huh? Let's say
Let's go Duke.
No, Duke can't win.
Coach, is North Carolina have a good year this year?
16-6.
He said they're gonna make the tournament.
That's decent.
Oh yeah, they'll make the tournament just because they're North Carolina. As long as they got a winning record, they're gonna make the tournament. Just off past performance. So
let me just say this, gentlemen. I'm due to a death. I won't be on the show next week because I have to fly back to Atlanta. So what I'll try to do is do a short video that y'all can play in my Super Bowl pick. But I'm gonna be in the air. I gotta come back to Atlanta. I was just in Atlanta this past week. I gotta come back to Atlanta to do a eulogy on Friday. So my plane to get back to Pennsylvania is on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna miss the show next week. So you all won't see me, but I know y'all be holding it.
hopefully young Armantes will be back. He had to work today. I know he was working, so maybe
now when is Shelby hiatus up?
It's indefinite right now.
Oh, indefinitely. Okay.
All right, gentlemen. That's the show.
Good show. It was a great show. Went longer than we wanted to. But we sure got a lot of good opinions and thoughts and topics in.
So that's it for us, everybody out there. All you people that listen, want to thank the nation. Everybody, want to thank you all for showing up and showing out as usual. We're going to go out.
Appreciate you guys. We're a little longer today, but hey, next week is our Super Bowl show. Be ready.
Yep, Super Bowl show next week. So we want everybody to stay tuned and be ready. And we'll see you all next week for Rev and Red. This is the coach. You all have a good one. We're signing off. See you next week.